But I'm going to give you a suggestion, and I know this is going to sound like a bad idea, but you just have to sort of hang with me for a minute. My favorite abbreviation of this word is not this or this, it's this. And that's a real abbreviation. That's like a diet down to one letter. Now, what I'm not saying is that when you abbreviate things that it should always be one letter. Anything you do to make it shorter is good. But this looks like a terrible idea. Why? Because that could stand for thousands of words, right? And can you imagine if you wrote notes and you thought of this really good abbreviation and you used it all over the page, and then you looked at it like 3 weeks later before the test and you have no idea what R is? That's bad. That's really bad. So this brings me back to the first point that I made on the outline, and that is to prepare for lectures. One of the things a lot of people do, which doesn't take very long and is very smart, is that when they're looking through their notes or their textbook, especially their book, and they happen to notice that there are certain words that keep coming up over and over again in the book because it's the main subject of the chapter, they realize, when I go to class tomorrow or later today, I'm going to have to write that word a lot, and I don't want to write it. So what they do is they find a sheet of paper, they write the word abbreviations at the top, and they abbreviate that. And then, in this example, they would write R equals, and then write the word reconstruction. And then they look in that same chapter, and they notice the President of the United States during most of that time was a man named Andrew Johnson. And what is a good abbreviation for Andrew Johnson? Yeah, AJ. But all of you have had history classes. You know that there are hundreds of names in there. And so there could be another AJ. You don't want to get that mixed up. So you go back to your little page and you write AJ equals Andrew Johnson, and maybe just write 2 or 3 more. When you get to class and you're ready to take notes, and I'm sitting next to you, and I haven't even looked at the book, I don't even know what the lecture's about at all, as soon as the teacher comes in and says, today we're going to talk about Andrew Johnson and Reconstruction, and then they just start talking really fast, I'm sitting there, reconstruction, and I'm going really slowly, and you're writing your abbreviation down and then going fast, and then when you go back later to review your notes, you don't have to remember, now what was J, what was R, because it's on your little key. So it takes your memory out of it, which is good. So especially when a teacher of yours lectures from the book, you can look ahead of time and try to make a little strategy like this. And again, it doesn't take very long, but it helps when the time comes. So that's what I mean by abbreviations. And I'm going to show you a couple more examples in just a little while. And then the other part of this number 3, talking about going on a diet with your notes, is this. I'm going to say this 2 different ways. One is leave out unimportant words. Okay. When you're writing notes in class, are your notes supposed to be usually beautiful, full sentences? No. And what some people do is they write these beautiful sentences all the way out, and that slows them down because, again, you're trying to shrink what you do. So what you want to do is make your notes something that an English teacher would have a heart attack looking at because it's terrible.